Hey everybody, Frank Kern here. Welcome to this training on how to scale your services business by getting more and better clients. I'm going to keep this one pretty brief for you, get straight to the point. In case we never met, I'll give you the mercifully short, mandatory, self-aggrandizing introduction. My name's Frank Kern. I'm the guy in the picture there. I've been doing this stuff full-time online since 1999. The majority of my customers and clients are in businesses like ours, which I would define as professional services businesses, such as coaches, consultants, agencies, copywriters, real estate, attorneys, financial planners, etc. So that's sort of my area of expertise there. Last I checked, which was a couple days ago, literally every single one of the people advertising on Facebook for how to get clients, they're in my customer database. They have bought my stuff. And I also have enough sense to know that absolutely nobody cares about any of that stuff that I just told you. I know that you are here for you, and your prospects are absolutely no different, by the way, which will lead us to secret number one for scaling your consulting or coaching or professional services business by getting more and better clients. Here it is. Make everything about them being your prospects or your clients, and specifically what they want and how they get it. See, people become your clients because they believe you can help them. Period. And so there's really no other reason they would do it. It's not like they're going to become your clients because they think you can't help them, you know? So if we accept that to be true, then logically, the best way to convince them of this is by actually helping them. And if we accept that to be true, then that means really all of your marketing, all your conversations, everything we do needs to be about them and more specifically, what they want and how they get it. And what's cool about this is if you really think about it for a minute, it takes a lot of pressure off of you and me because we don't have to try to be cool. Because if we really truly understand that they do not care about us, all they care about is the results that we can help them get. And if all we got to do is demonstrate we can actually help them get the results, we don't have to go out and try to look cool and look fancy and stand in front of jets or whatever it is, we tend to feel like we have to do, which is awesome. And to really prove that point, think about what got you here, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that, if you would have seen an ad or something that said, brand new video about how fabulous and amazing Frank Kern is, you probably wouldn't have signed up. You'd been like, yeah, I don't really care about that. Instead, you're here because you want to scale your practice by getting more and better clients. So let's talk about that and actually do it. If you're here, there are 4 roadblocks that I bet you have experienced or are currently experiencing, either one or a combination of these 4. And this is now going on almost 21 years of experience working in our industry, which is the professional services world. So roadblock number 1 is not enough leads, right? So I hear that a lot. Like, dude, if I could just get more leads, everything would be cool. Fair enough. Number 2, well, I'm getting leads, but I'm not getting qualified leads. Everybody I'm getting is no good, right? And number 2 is usually caused by this. Whenever you're talking to someone about becoming your client, you're getting one of these 2 answers typically. I need to think about it, or it's too expensive. So that leads you to conclude that, okay, I need to get more qualified leads. And the 4th roadblock would be time. And time is either you're running out of time because you're spending so much time on strategy sessions or whatever trying to enroll clients that you don't actually have enough time to do anything else. So that's situation number 1. Situation number 2 is you're doing like a million different things trying to grow your practice. Or situation number 3 for time, which is actually a good problem to have, is you've got so many clients you need to learn how to replace yourself. So we're going to talk about how to fix all of these problems today. And the very first step we need to take in order to solve this stuff is to embrace secret number 2, which is to accept reality. All right. So look, I know this probably isn't the only training you've been on about how to get more clients, and I respect that. And I know there's a lot of good stuff out there, by the way. And I also know this: our business really has 2 steps in terms of getting clients. And when I say our business, I mean any professional services business, whether you're a consultant or you're a coach or an attorney or an agency owner or a professional copywriter, web designer, really doesn't matter, right? So any of those types of businesses, I will consider our type of businesses. We're all in professional services. And when it comes to getting clients, we got 2 steps. Here they are. Number 1, get people to request a conversation with us about becoming clients, right? And a lot of people will call that conversation a strategy session or whatever, a clarity call, a free consult. You get the idea. So that's step number one. Step number two is to sell them our stuff during that conversation. And that is really our entire methodology for getting clients, right? Now there's a little bit more stuff around that, but that's really it. Like, those are the two main things, right? And of course, like step number three in terms of running the business is to deliver our services. But today we're really focusing on getting you more and better clients and scaling your practice, right? So which one of these things actually makes the money? I mean, obviously we have to deliver our services, but the real money is made here and actually selling people our stuff, getting them to become clients during our conversations with them, right? And so it's really a simple process. Get people to request a conversation, talk to them in a way that causes them to go like, yeah, I'd love to be a client. This sounds great. So if it's so simple, then why is it so hard? Why do we have these four roadblocks all the time? Well, the reason lies in something that I call the cycle of doom, which is, I don't know, I probably should come up with a better name for that, but it really kind of is a cycle of doom. If you get stuck in this cycle, it's going to cause you a lot of problems. So here it is. Let's say that four out of five people you talk to tell you, I can't afford it, or I need to think about it, right? So that means like for every 5 conversations, 4 of them are giving you those 2 objections. One of them is saying, okay, I'd like to become a client. And a lot of people, they wish they could get to 4 out of 5. A lot of folks are like 1 out of 10 or whatever. And so if this is happening, what you're going to hear from the experts is, oh, well, the reason that's happening to you is because you need to build your authority, right? Or you need to get more leads, or you need to get more appointments, or whatever. I just went through all the ads, and like that's literally everything. Here's how to get more appointments. Here's how to get more leads, etc. So what they're basically telling you to do is stuff that'll have you end up doing like content marketing, branding, videos, podcasts, whatever. And all of this is like trying to get more and better leads while probably spending more money. And when you start doing this, this is what your situation looks like. And to give credit where credit is due, I got this image from the book Essentialism, which is a very, very good book about getting more stuff done. So your focus, your time and energy, instead of just getting people to request a conversation and then getting them to become clients on that conversation, it's now spread out in all these different areas, right? And what typically happens, and this is based on 21 years of working with folks in our types of business, is at the end of the day, you're still getting the same results, which is like 4 out of 5 or worse. People are telling you, I need to think about it, or it's too expensive. And so what's happening here is our focus is being directed into the wrong place. Look, our business, like I said, two things really. Number one, get people to request a conversation. Number two, sell them stuff during that conversation, right? So most of the focus out there is, okay, let's just get more leads, let's get more leads, do all this stuff to get more leads. And the real money is here. So if we fix step number 2 here, and we make this work really, really well, then all those other problems kind of become irrelevant. Now, I do want to stop you here. This isn't a training about like how to become some lame salesperson or something. I am horrible at sales. I hate sales. The whole reason I got online is because I was a door-to-door salesman, was terrible at it, and after literally being thrown out of a restaurant that I cold called one day, I went back to my computer in October of 1999 and did a search for how to sell stuff on the internet without talking to people. That's how bad of a salesperson I am. So I'm not going to try to, convince you have to be some hardcore salesperson. That's not fun. But here's what is fun, and that is the cure to this problem. So what I'm about to walk you through are these 4 steps, these 4 core pillars that you need to have. And if at any time you decide you want some help brainstorming ideas on how to implement about what I'm about to show you, totally happy to help you. There should be a little button somewhere near this video that hopefully will appear right about now if I set everything up properly. Just click on it. You can set up a quick call with our office, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay, so I'm about to go through like a lot of stuff, and I'm going to do it relatively quickly out of respect for your time. If you want some help with implementation, we got you. Okay, so let's go. Here's the deal. In order to scale business, like our type of business, from whatever to 7 figures or to multiple 7 figures or even to 8 figures, you've got to have what's called the core 4. And so these are the four critical things that you absolutely must have in order for your business to give you consistent results and to be able to really grow. And so what I want to do is I'm going to tell you about each one. I'll tell you what each one is, and then I'll tell you what each one means. Okay, so you're probably going to want to write this down. So it's offer framework is number one. And so you probably want to like take a little notes as offer framework and then leave a little space between it there. And then number two is bait. I know, sounds weird. It's not, I promise. Number three is filter. And number four is process, right? And so this is your core four. So you're going to want to, again, write some notes about these, each area of them. So let's talk about your offer framework. That's a fancy way of saying how you present your offer during that conversation, right? And so if you are getting these objections of, let me think about it, or it's too expensive, you probably have a situation where the offer framework is broken. And I'll tell you why. I need to think about it and it's too expensive are usually secret code for I don't really see the value in this and I'm too polite to tell you, right? That's usually what people mean when they say that. And so our mission is to eliminate any reason for them to say that. And so here's a very high level, like 30,000 foot overview of what a good offer framework looks like. First thing you want to do is establish what your prospect wants to achieve by working with you. The reason you want to do that is because you might not be able to help them. And if you can't, you want to tell them. And if you can, as soon as you know that, right off the bat, your brain is already thinking about ways that you can help them get that result. The second thing you want to do is establish what their problem is that's getting in the way of them having that desired result, right? Otherwise, you're just rambling. So you need to find, okay, what are we trying to solve? And again, there's two reasons you want to do that. Number one is you want to make sure that you can actually solve that problem. Now, if you can't, then you finish the call. Like, oh, that's out of my expertise. No, what, see you later. But if you can, what you want to do now is quantify that problem. And you want to get a number attached to what that problem is actually costing them, right? And the reason you want to do that is because you want to make it very clear to them of, look, this problem is very, very serious. And you really want them to come to that conclusion on their own. You don't want to actually have to say it. So there's a system of getting this done. You also, before you ever pitch, want to flush out all of the objections they might have, aside from the price, right? Because rarely is price the actual issue. Really, it isn't. I mean, unless you're selling something that's like $500,000 or whatever. But generally speaking, it's not really the issue. The issues are really going to be, okay, I've tried this before and it didn't work, so I have low confidence in myself, or I'm confused and I'm not clear about exactly how this is going to help me. But rather than ask that, I just want to end this conversation because I haven't seen the value yet. So there's a way of doing that before you ever actually mention price or talk about what it is that you do specifically. And finally, you want them to ask you to pitch them. So if you're doing anything different from this, for example, if you are doing anything like talking about, okay, let's say you've got a 12-week program and there's like 10 videos a week or whatever. And if you're saying, I've got a 12-week program, there's 10 videos a week, here's what video number one is about, you've got a problem, right? Because it's not about fixing their issue. It's about your stuff. It's not about them. It's about you. Does that make sense? If you're doing that old school thing where you're like, well, where are you going to be 3 years from now if you keep doing this? How is this affecting other areas of your life? What would it mean for your life if you were to solve this problem? If you're doing any of that old school stuff that's been taught forever, you've got a problem. And the reason why is because you're probably not the first person they've talked to, right? And so like they see it coming, it feels scripting, it's a big turnoff. Okay, so you got to have that offer framework. And the reason I led with this is because if you were to fix this right now today and do absolutely nothing else, you could potentially double your business, right? So if you go from closing, 1 out of 5 people or whatever to 2 out of 5 people, and you did nothing else, you would literally double your business. So that's why we start here. This is really, really, really important. And so to cap off this thing about offer framework, remember it is end result, not features. So when you're talking to them, don't be, unless they ask about it, don't be talking about how long each call is or how long each video is or whatever. It is, here is how this is going to get you the specific end result. That's very, very important. And you never talk about that until they ask you to tell them about that. Okay? So that's thing number one. Thing number two is bait. All right. And so I know bait sounds weird. I wish it didn't sound weird. I got to come up with a better name for it. But here's the deal. It's just a way of describing the content that gets their attention. And here's the golden rule, right? You cannot catch whales with minnow bait. I'll say it again. You can't catch whales with minnow bait. So, like I told you, I've been doing this 21 years now, going on 21 years, since 1999, okay? So many times I'll talk to people and they'll say, nobody's got any money, blah, blah, blah. And we'll fix the offer thing and that'll be just a huge improvement. But then they still have that, I'm still getting this really disproportionate amount of the wrong people. And then we'll find out that the content that's getting their attention is something that's designed to attract people without any money. I'll give you an example. What are we talking about today? So this entire content that has gotten your attention is how to get more and better clients. Now, what does that presuppose about you? It presupposes that you are getting clients in the first place. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching how to get more and better. You wouldn't even have this problem yet of I'm getting the wrong type of people. So it presupposes you actually have a business and you're doing stuff. So one of the biggest mistakes that you can make is to have content, whether it's on a webinar or it's the topic of a post that you're using to get attention or whatever, that is attractive to people who cannot buy from you. Notice that this is not, here's how to start a business from scratch, even if you have no money. Like someone who has money would never watch that, right? And so if you were to just fix this bait part to be very magnetic to the person that you want, and even if you did that and your offer framework really wasn't that great, you would still end up getting more clients because the nature of the person you are attracting would in fact change. That makes sense? So again, be very, very aware of what you're putting out into the marketplace. Now, the fourth part of your core four is very simple. It's your filter. And what a filter does, it's simply a way to weed out people who are not a good fit before you talk to them. So I'll ask you a question, which I already know the answer to, so it's rhetorical, but what would you rather do? Okay, let's say that, you're going to have 5 conversations scheduled for today. One of them are going to buy. Would you rather, A, not talk to the 4 non-buyers at all and just only do that one sales call, or B, spend that total of like 5 hours with the other people? Of course, you'd rather not talk to the ones who aren't going to buy from you. Like, it would be great. Like, let's say your goal was to get 5 new clients a week and you could just talk to 5 people to get 5 new clients. Like, that would be awesome, right? Well, that's what a filter helps you acquire, is that situation where you're filtering out people who are not a good fit before you ever talk to them. And there are really 2 simple ways to do it. The most common is an application form. So they fill out some information before they're able to schedule a time to talk to you. The second way is to have something called a vetting process. And you can do this or you can have someone else do it. And that's simply after someone schedules, they get a phone call from you or from someone that is an assistant just to go over and make sure they're qualified before you actually have the real appointment. And either of those ways are totally fine. But if you don't have them, that means you could be talking to anybody, right? So you don't want to do that. You only want to talk to people who can buy from you and who want to. So that's important. And the final pillar here is your process. And the process is a systemized way of getting pre-qualified people asking you to sell to them, right? So if you remember, our business, it's only got 2 things. Let's get people asking us for an appointment, and then let's get those people to become clients. That's it. So a process is a systemized and predictable way to make that happen. And what's cool about a process is, number one, of course, it creates consistency and stability. So if you're suffering from feast or famine, so if you like 1 month is really good, the next month is really bad or whatever, it's a process problem, right? And so once you fix that, now everything is very predictable for you and it's great. And from there, you can now scale. You can either replace yourself, you can stop doing the sales calls if you want to, you can even replace yourself in the delivery of service. Like once the process is established, it really opens a lot of doors. So typically, if you look at a multi-7-figure professional services business, they've got a pretty good process built in here that allows the owner of that business to be a business owner instead of an employee of the business. And so that's kind of our last step, which is cool. So if you've got these core 4 here, now you can get more and better clients more consistently, and you can close more of them during your conversations without having to be like weird or salesy or anything. What's really interesting is in our little world here, we have no objection handling sequence of any kind. So if like someone gives an objection, we're like, okay, cool. Is there anything else I can help you with? And then we're done with the call. Like there is zero convincing, you know? And so I would love you to have that same experience, because really where most people freeze up is during that conversation. You know, it's just unpleasant because they don't quite know how to make it fun and make it profitable. We nail that, everything else really becomes great. So here's my question to you is, hopefully I hope you found this valuable. That's very, very important to me personally. And if you did, would you like some help with all of this stuff? Because I know I just like fire hosed a lot of stuff at you with this core 4. It is very, very important, by the way. And if you would like some help with it, just click on the button somewhere near this video. You can set up a time to talk to us and our team. And here's what we'll do. There is no one size fits all solution to this in terms of how do you arrange everything. So what we're happy to do is just diagnose what you've got going on, help you identify the bottlenecks, things that need fixing, and then give you some ideas on how to fix them. And that could be fixing that offer process, which is usually like really, really important. It could be helping you dial in that closing conversation. A couple little tweaks in that could really totally make all the difference. And again, I'm telling you this from 21 years of doing this. Like I said it earlier, but if you go and look at everyone who's advertising this kind of stuff, they're all in my customer database. So you might as well come to the source, right? So helping you fix that is a really, really important thing. And just that couple little tweaks there can make a massive difference for you. Helping you dial in your bait. We can see if you've got a bait problem. If you're attracting the wrong people in general and you're not getting who you want, it could just be a bait issue. That would be great. And if you're at that place where you're like, okay, I'm at this level and I really want to go a lot bigger, then we can talk about processes and how to scale and grow. It's really your show. We're just here to figure out, hey, what do you want to achieve? What do you got going on? Help you find the bottlenecks and give you some pointers on how to fix them. And so there's no charge for that. Again, there's a little button somewhere, click it, and we'll set up a time to talk. It's pretty fun. There are 2 slight catches, by the way. The first one, and I cannot stretch this enough, or stress this enough rather, we are admittedly terrible at newbie. So if you do not have a business, you will not get any value at all from this conversation. We're just not good at it. It's not my strong point. I'm not the person to go to if here's how to start a business from scratch. There's other people that will show you a lot of income claims and sell you that stuff. That's not what we do. If you have a business that's doing anything and you're in professional services like our types of business, coaching, consulting, agency, or whatever, and you want that to do significantly better, unbelievably good at that. There is absolutely no question we can help you if you're already getting clients to some degree and you've got even any raw materials for us to work with, we can help you for sure, right? But if you don't, then please don't book the call, because you're really going to you're not going to get much from it. And I don't want to waste your time or ours, quite frankly. Now, the second catch is there are 2 people on my team that are qualified to help you. You're not going to be talking to some random person that's in like a boiler room or something. Like everybody you talk to has been working with me for a long time and knows exactly what to do and works with me and with our clients. So I don't have this huge group of people. So when the calendar is full, the calendar is full, and therefore it's a time sensitive offer. So if you're interested, just go ahead, click the little button there and set up a time, and let's get on the horn and see what needs fixing and see how to fix it. Cool? Awesome. So go ahead and do that. And again, thank you so much for watching this. I really hope you found it helpful. Please don't let people trick you. I don't think anyone means it, out with like bad intentions. So let me reword that. Please don't fall into the trap of thinking that you need to do all these 10 million different things in order to get more and better clients. Really, I cannot stress it enough. 21 years, I can tell you without question, our business has really 2 steps. Get people to request a conversation. Sell them something during that conversation. That's it, right? And so all the other stuff is going to do really nothing but rob you of attention, cost you extra money, cost you extra time, and keep you stuck. So if you want to get unstuck and simplify everything, then just click on the button. Let us help you do it. We'd be delighted. There's no cost for that conversation. Cool? Awesome. Okay. Thanks again for watching this. Hope you have a great day. Take it easy.